Hi, so Matt Smith here, project lead from Realise, and I'm here to tell you about Onefile Engage. Onefile Engage is a great tool that allows you to monitor key performance metrics of your learners on their apprenticeship programme to give you an early indication of any engagement risk to that person not completing their apprenticeship programme. My first impression, in all honesty, was okay, this looks like a really good tool in the making. It was a little bit raw as it was an MVP, but when we sat down and spoke with the developers at Onefile, it was clear that there was a development pathway for Onefile Engage that was really interesting to us, because we could see its key compliance monitoring. So the fact that it was looking at apprentices logging into the system, apprentices completing activity in the system. And when I'm talking about the system, I'm talking about e-portfolio, that reviews are happening, that there's engagement through learning journals. And to be able to put those into performance metrics and get a real-time view of, is your learner compliant in their apprenticeship journey, is so powerful. So I think when we talk about Engage, it primarily supports the staff, the training population, by giving them that insight into where is that learner right here, right now, in terms of the compliance on their apprenticeship journey and the activity that needs to take place, which indirectly benefits the learner, because our trainers can then look at each apprentice as an individual and work with that person to take the steps that they need to stay compliant, to stay on track and stay engaged with their programme. And I've spoken about the overall risk, but we have got a predicted risk as well. So there's machine learning built in that takes Onefile's years and years of data on apprentices and tries to give a clear indication of how likely or not an apprentice is going to finish their programme. And the overall risk is great because it allows us to fix the overall sort of day-to-day compliance pieces. But that predicted risk is also good because it allows that trainer to just keep an eye on, is there stuff going on in the background that indicate that this learner may or may not complete their programme. It's just a really good tool for the trainers to understand their apprentices, to keep an eye on who's engaged and not engaged, and individualise the support to each of the apprentices as needed. You engage with the whole system in terms of going in, checking who's high risk, medium risk, low risk, for us no risk, identifying each of the individual metric scores to work with your apprentices to know what you need to do to keep them compliant, keep them engaged and keep them on track on their programmes. We also, so there's that day-to-day, using the data. That is easily the biggest thing. The power of the data is easily the biggest thing that we use. We do use the interactions as well, because from a trainer's perspective, if they're in Engage, they can immediately respond, email out to an apprentice to try and engage with them to fix any engagement issues that may have been identified in the metric performance. And we're moving on now to develop the bulk interactions where the system itself, based on metric performance, will automate both emails and text messages out to apprentices to encourage them to engage with the activities that they need to and take the steps they need to stay compliant and engaged, and ultimately, we want them to be successful in their programs. We've had quotes like, it saved me 3 hours a week from rummaging around in different systems and in different data points to understand what each learner's needs. When it comes to actually reviewing overall caseloads, we've had people saying how much it's expedited that overall caseload review, and it's actually changed how our learner planning meetings take place, where our operational managers sit with their trainers to review what's going on with their caseload, because Engage actually is driving those meetings now. Whereas before there had to be a lot of pre-preparation, working out what was going on for each individual apprentice. Now they just access a system and talk about that engagement view. And I think what that also means is that it's made our trainers more proactive. From when we moved on to Engage to now, I have seen a consistent drop in high-risk learners and medium-risk learners to now where we're probably sitting with 3/4 of our population of apprentices in that low or no risk zone on a consistent basis. So to me, that's the biggest measure that it is having an impact, that it is helping our trainers to keep their apprentices on track, compliant, and also our trainers are timely with things like reviews and encouraging journal feedback. At Realise, we believe in right learner, right programme together. We do a lot of work to make sure that we put the right people onto the right programmes. We believe in understanding our apprentices and treating them as individuals, and that's where Engage really does support us. For me, that together part is very, very important. What Engage does is it allows our trainers to understand each of their apprentices individually, tailor the support, tailor the guidance to help that person stay engaged and stay on track to be successful on their apprenticeship. So let's be honest, a training provider where at any one point you've probably got 4,000, 4,500 apprentices live on programme at any point, there is always a chance, there is always a risk that somebody is going to go under the radar, or there's going to be engagement challenges and engagement risks. Engage helps you to overcome those risks by giving our trainers that individualised view of each apprentice, knowing individually what's going on compliance-wise and journey-wise, and supported by the predicted risk, giving that extra insight into there may be something going on in that apprentice's world that could be affecting their ability to complete their programme. So it's made it a lot easier for our apprentices, for our trainers to understand the individual view of each of their apprentices, which means that less and less people risk going off radar and not getting the support that they need. For us, Onefile Engage isn't just about the metrics, the data, it's actually supporting the improvement of our performance and our support and our engagement with our apprentices. If you are thinking about working with Onefile, just from my own experience and the experience of Realise, always approachable, we always have enriching conversations, and we always get really, really good support in terms of understanding systems, we get support with implementations, and we also get ongoing development support. So I'm confident to say that Onefile are a good partner to work with. So thank you for listening to me. It's been my pleasure, and if you are interested in Onefile Engage, head over to their website at onefile.co.uk.